We're continuing our series on the benefits of alternative investments. Hopefully you've watched the prior videos that we've put out talking about what are alternatives, why are they beneficial, and then we've also discussed two benefits already in the prior video before this. That is that they're uncorrelated with the market and that you have direct ownership into the assets. Well, today I want to talk about a really important concept that a lot of investors understand intuitively that they want to avoid, and that is volatility, but they don't really know what that means or the impact that that has on their portfolio. And so we're going to run through some examples and show how volatility is the single worst killer of compounding returns. So Albert Einstein was actually the one who coined that the compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. And it's a very powerful concept, and you probably understand it at least at a theoretical level, and it's something that a lot of investments never get to earn, is compound interest, true compound interest, because of volatility. And so what does volatility mean? Volatility just means swings in the value of an asset, so both up and down. And if you are an investor in the stock market, this is something you're very accustomed to, right? Where there can be wild swings both up and then down. And generally, even though the stock market is averaging, say a 6, 7, 8% return, it all depends on who you ask and what time period you're looking at. But let's say it's averaging that return. Well, the average is much different than the actual return because of the volatility that impacts those averages. So I'm actually going to break down a few examples here, and I want to kind of exemplify what the difference is between a compounding investment and a volatile investment. And so say you have $100,000 that you can invest in the stock market, and your first scenario is it's the stock market. It's got the big ups but also big drawdowns. And in this case, we alternate every year between a 50% return up, which is a massive return, right, on the upside, and then a 30% return on the downside. And it alternates 50% up, 30% down. And that goes on for 30 years, right? So your average return is actually 10% over that time period. And anyone would take 10%, right? 10% is a great return. Well, the second scenario here is, let's just say you invested at 9%, so even a lower return, but it's consistent. And it's the same vanilla, 9% every year, year after year, and it compounds. So you get the 9%, and the next year you get to earn 9% on the 9% you earned last year, and so on and so forth. Well, if you've seen these compounding curves, you know where I'm going with this, and the value between these two examples is nearly 6 times higher in the consistent compounding scenario. And the reason is because the volatility is a killer of the compounding returns. And if you can hit singles and doubles consistently over time, that is going to pay off far more than trying to get big wins and taking a lot of risk and a lot of volatility in doing that. So this is obviously theoretical. These are examples that are not necessarily the case in reality, but they are exemplary of the two different types of returns and sequence of returns. And so hopefully this is helpful. This is something that is really eye-opening to a lot of investors. And stay tuned for the next video where I'm going to talk about the final benefits of investing in alternatives.